So if they boot Biden out, what do they do? Who do they go with? I mean, we've all speculated this over and over and over. Gavin Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer, Hakeem Jeffries. I don't see that happening. So they can't go with anybody that doesn't have massive name recognition, right?
Well, I was guessing an Obama would be involved, and that could not be true, but I noticed that Michelle was on a bunch of registration pamphlets being sent out.
That's right. In Michigan, they were, and that's illegal, right? You can't promote a candidate, or I guess she's not a candidate. You're not supposed to be able to promote people, but there's probably some loophole. It wasn't a governmental organization. I guess it was some sort of third party that had teamed up to send voter registrations out. Yeah, the envelopes would come in, and it'd be this big picture of Michelle Obama on the front.
She had to let him do it, you know.
Oh, my God, dude. It's just crazy. The philosophy, and I see a lot of media saying this, is the go-to is Kamala Harris because she's got the name recognition of being vice president. But there's a lot of people out there that don't pay attention to politics that really couldn't even point Kamala Harris out in the lineup. I think what they're thinking is because she stayed behind the scenes and she hasn't really done much of anything, all the blame has been placed on Joe Biden, that they can get away with putting her in and revamping her image. This is what, the media or whoever wants to do. Revamping her image as the first woman president. We messed up in 2016. We almost had the first female president, but here's our chance to rectify that. We've got Kamala Harris. So Kamala Harris, obviously, she's not going to admit that she needs to be the one to step up. She's on a media tour with other Democrats talking about how Joe Biden's debate performance and everything thereafter has been perfectly fine. Here's some clips. Kamala Harris.
We have a very bold and vibrant president in Joe Biden.
But a majority of Americans, a majority of Democrats, according to our new poll, say they don't want President Biden to run again. What do you say to them?
I mean, George, I think that age is more than a chronological fact, to be very frank with you. It's about thinking about whether we have in our leader, which we do in Joe Biden, somebody who is bold. I mean, think about it.
He's
and
bold.
In Joe Biden, we have a president who is probably one of the boldest and strongest American presidents we have had.
Oh, my God.
In his response to the needs of the
Look
American
at the soldiers.
people.
They're
but
like,
he is an extraordinary leader, and I wish that people could see what I see, because there's only one person who sits behind that resolute desk.
You're 58 now.
Oh, man.
Win a second term, as you and the president are running to do, he would be 86 at the end of it. The Wall Street Journal had a poll showing 2/3 of Democrats say Joe Biden is too old to run again. Are you prepared to be commander-in-chief?
Yes, I am, if necessary.
Ooh.
But Joe Biden is going to be fine. And let me tell you something.
She's not looking down when she's talking now.
Biden every day.
Right.
The work that under Joe Biden's leadership our administration has accomplished is transformative.
Two very prominent Washington Post articles today talking about President Biden's age, and that's a big concern among the young voters. And
see her smile faded away.
Yeah. Are people right to be concerned about his age at this point?
Well, let me just say this. When I talk to these young voters, what they want is a leader who is in touch with the problems of today and has a vision for what we can do today and in the future to deal with it. President Biden is the first president to take on in any substantial way the issue of the climate crisis. I'm not going to engage in that hypothetical because Joe Biden is very much alive and running for re-election. First of all, I would say that age is more than a chronological fact. I spent a whole lot of time with our president, be it in the Oval Office or the Situation Room and in other places. And I can tell you, as I just mentioned, not only is he absolutely authoritative in rooms around the globe, but in the Oval Office, meeting with members of Congress, meeting with leaders in industry, meeting with community leaders, I will tell you that he is in front of, often, everyone in the room in terms of thinking about how we can resolve issues, negotiate in a way that is about concession where necessary, but for the sake of accomplishment and actual work.
Let me ask you in a more complicated way. I think there's a lot of people would say she can't say anything else. She couldn't tell if there was a problem.
I'm not lying.
If there was,
I'm telling you a fact.
But if there ever is a problem,
yeah.
Do you think that you could go tell the American public? Do you think in your role that you're in a position to do that?
She's hesitating.
Of course, if necessary, but there's no need for that. There is a political argument that is being made that is not based on substance. And you're asking me to hypothesize around what are my duties.
We want you to give a Venn diagram
as Vice
of
President
Joe
of the United
Biden's
States
state.
that are based on ethics and morals and the law. I will always follow those rules. But I am suggesting to you that it is important we not be seduced into one of the only arguments that that side of the aisle has right now on this issue, in a way that is intended to distract from the accomplishments.
You obviously can't change the president's age. So what is your plan to try and change this perception? How do you do that?
I'll tell you the reality of it is, and I spent a lot of time with President Biden, be it in the Oval Office, in the Situation Room, and other places. He is extraordinarily smart.
Wait a minute.
He has the ability.
So how does all of this happen behind the scenes, and none of us have seen it? Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, whoever. Joe Biden runs circles around everybody. You should see him back in the Oval Office. You should see him behind the scenes. Take a video. Take a picture and send it to us. Just show us. Your problems would all be solved if you just showed the American people that Joe Biden was okay. That what we see in debates and in interviews, that's just a bad day. Joe Biden just doesn't interview well. He doesn't debate well anymore. But when he's working, you should see him. Well, we'd like to. Could you show us? Show us.
What might be the challenges we face as a nation or globally?
Why is Biden getting the bad rap and not Trump? I don't get it.
Well, first of all, let me just address the issue directly, because I spend a lot of time with our president, be it in the Oval Office, the Situation Room, you name it. We have a president
in the broom closet
who is forward-thinking in a way that we've not seen in a long time. I want to get to the heart of what I think you're raising, which you've said is his age. So let's talk about that. I spend a lot of time with Joe Biden, be it in the Oval Office or the Situation Room. And I can tell you, this is someone who is tireless in terms of working on behalf of the American people.
Okay, that's
to your point of knowing.
I just can't, like, it's the same answer over and over, and this is what we're seeing from a majority of Democrats. We're seeing it from Biden administration officials that he's just so good. He's good behind the scenes. He's good in everything he does, and you all just got it twisted, man. You got it twisted. Joe Biden's fine.
The guy can't ride a bike. He can't walk stairs. And like I said before, he can't even run a hot dog stand. I wouldn't even trust him on that one.
No, could you imagine? Like, what would a Joe Biden hot dog look like? Wait, let me rephrase that. If Joe Biden was running a hot dog stand and he was serving you your order, what would he put on your hot dog? Like, it's irrelevant to what you want. You know Joe Biden's going to mess it up. What does he put on your hot dog?
I don't know, but even if somebody sets up the stand for him and all he has to do is use tongs, reach in, grab a hot dog, put it on a bun, and ask you if you want mustard or ketchup, I don't think he could pull it off.
He'd probably put green bean flavored baby food on your hot dog.
Probably put ice cream chocolate chip or something.
Yeah, with chocolate chip ice cream and say that it's mayonnaise and relish.
So bad.
Anyway, this is what you're going to get right here. If Kamala Harris is president, this is what you will get on a daily basis.
I love good news. Love good news. I just love good news. Else on the bus, go round and round.
Best rapper alive.
Tupac.
Oh, he's not alive.
I really do. I love Venn diagrams. Just something about those 3 circles.
Oh, that hurt.
God.
Do not come.
I'm coming.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
We did it, Joe. You're gonna be the next president of the United States.
To work out. That's when you do.
Oh, God.
Joe. So I've got to ask you.
All right, Bess.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do. And there is such great significance to the passage of time.
Who doesn't love a yellow school bus? Right? Can you raise your hand if you love a yellow school bus, right?
Wow.
Now I call her Cackles.
Oh, my God.
Super cringe.
There's got to be, I mean, you know, we talked about arranged marriages and stuff, the Clintons and everything else. I think the Kamala Harris, Doug Emhoff is an arranged marriage. Think about it. You go from Montel Williams and his side chick, his second girlfriend. You go from that to this like nerdy white guy, like the nerdiest white guy you've ever seen on the planet. Bottom know. You remember that what Donald Trump said in the interview with Tucker about we played it before. He said about Kamala. He said she speaks in rhymes.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Hold on. Yeah.
And it was funny because she mentioned school buses a moment ago, but here's Donald Trump sitting down with Tucker Carlson, and speaking about the possibility that Kamala Harris would be the next president.
She has some bad moments. Her moments are almost as bad as his. I think his are worse, actually.
Yeah.
But
she seems pretty senile too.
She speaks in rhyme. You know, it's weird. It's weird. But she has bad moments. And
in rhyme? What do you?
Well, the way she talks, the bus will go here and then the bus will go there because that's what buses do. It's weird. The whole thing is weird. This is not a president of the United States future. And I think they probably have some kind of a primary. And
that's so dead on. I mean, I've never heard a better analysis of Kamala Harris than that. That's so
I like this
good.
face when he's like, you know, the wheels. You know.
He's got the bus goes over here and then the bus goes there because that's what buses do. Anyway, it's possible. It's possible that Kamala Harris is the replacement for Joe Biden. I mean, thinking logically, I think it's possible that that's their only option because she's already built in. You don't have to bring somebody from the outside. What about the money? You can't transfer the campaign money from one campaign to another. Like, this is why they're in panic mode. And I don't know if swapping somebody out increases their chances at all. They may just be as good, as well off sticking with Joe Biden and just trying to cheat like hell like they did last time.
It's possible. I don't know. I don't really think they're worried about the money as much because they could just have one donor throw $1 billion, Zuckerberg or whoever. But imagine being one of those guys that was in prison or jail and got out late because Kamala was in California and all they did was get caught with some pot or something, and then they had to stay longer than they. Could you imagine how mad those people are right now at this?
Oh God, that'd be their worst nightmare. There's one documentary Vice did, and maybe we'll play it one day. But it's this guy who got accused of murder in California, and Kamala Harris did everything she could to keep that guy in prison for the rest of his life when he was innocent. He ended up winning like a $13 million lawsuit from California for that. But Kamala Harris was spearheading that whole thing to keep that dude in prison.
I'd be willing to bet some money that the people that own those prisons, those private prisons that they make a profit from, had something to do with donating to her campaign, I would think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know it. So y'all get ready. It might just be President Kamala Harris by the end of this thing.